Okay, so you're teasing.
I don't want to.
This is a one-story thing for me, so I should tease.
Yes.
Okay. Coming up on This Is True Really News, a first-hand account from a veterinarian. Please like, subscribe, and follow This Is True Really News because Tony and I need friends. We need someone to like us, really like us. So there.
This is True Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
That was succinct.
Yeah. A little whiny.
Oh, I'll do better next time.
I know you will.
Thank you.
So November 30th, each and every year, beginning the year 2017, is being celebrated as Mississippi Day.
Really?
Oh,
did that hurt?
A little bit.
Okay.
We have found, Mississippi Day.
It's like having a Minnesota Day. Why?
It's kind of like the state everyone makes fun of.
Well, yes. Only their school system and their politics and everything else.
Which is a shame because I know some fine people out of Mississippi.
Yep.
Anyway, to celebrate, the folks at Oddie News came up with weird laws in Mississippi.
Ooh.
The weirdest of the bunch, I'm going to start with the weirdest one because it just is. If you are a parent to an illegitimate child, no problem. However, if you have two or more illegitimate children, you could face up to a month in jail.
This had to be a blue law from long ago.
No, well, I'm guessing most of these are. No explanation. Yeah. Just if one's okay, two, screw you, which, is a weird take.
Yeah.
There are others. No swearing.
Unscrew you would be the thing to do.
Yep. It is not okay to swear or use any profane language in public in Mississippi. If you're caught swearing, it could fine you up to $100. Again, I'm guessing that's one they don't really mess with anymore because, we're so much more enlightened now.
Well, that and the way our politicians behave is they don't even have to speak in their profane.
Copy that. Church is important, so important that should you interrupt a service, you could be arrested. And it doesn't even have to be by a real cop either. Any private citizen could arrest you for interrupting their church service. I've seen some church services that should have been interrupted. Then what do you do?
Yeah. This one really needs interruption.
If you're dating someone but not married, you shouldn't be living together, according to the Mississippi law that states you're living in violation of the law if you are cohabitating with your significant other but not married. I wonder how many they could, just throw in the hoosegow right at this moment.
A lot.
So you might not be surprised that you're not supposed to live with someone, right?
Yeah, okay.
You're probably not supposed to be sleeping with them either.
It ain't the sleeping that gets you in trouble, by the way.
It's up to... Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's up to... Because no one knew that.
I have some pictures on the internet I can show you.
Of you sleeping?
No.
I'd rather see that than what you'd show me then. Anyway, if you're caught having sex without the bonds of marriage, you could be fined up to $500 and or 6 months in jail.
Wow.
Or any combination thereof. In Columbus, Mississippi, fine for shooting a gun in public. Question everyone has is why? Crazy enough, though, there's also a fine for waving a gun in public. And it carries a larger fine than the shooting one.
The brandishing.
Don't brandish, just shoot. It's just cheaper.
It's cheaper.
Temperance, Mississippi, you can't walk your dog without a diaper. Not you, the dog.
I just put one on to make sure. I put it on the outside of my pants, though. I want people to know I'm being safe.
Attaboy. Vagrancy, i.e. homelessness, illegal in Mississippi. Anyone caught wandering or without means of support will be arrested and jailed for no less than 10, no more than 30 days. Which is one way to cure homelessness. It's kind of a short-term thing, but hey. No abominable acts. If you are convicted of a detestable or abominable crime against nature, committed with mankind, committed with mankind or beat, I don't know what that means.
Beast.
Okay, they left out the S. Yeah. Thanks for editing. Your fine will be $10,000. Otherwise, you will face imprisonment in the state penitentiary for no less than 10 years. Some of these you look at and go, I wish we enforced them today. And other ones you look at and go, what the hell?
What are you thinking of?
Believe it or not, state law says that you are not allowed to seduce a woman by falsely claiming to marry them. Yes, if a man sleeps with a woman over the age of 18 by virtue of any pretend or statements of marriage, shall upon conviction be imprisoned in the penitentiary for no more than 5 years. The fine print does say that the testimony of any woman would not in itself warrant a conviction.
Wow.
So you can't have, a scorned lover come in and say, listen, I banged him, yes, but he said he'd marry me.
Yeah, so there.
So you need other witnesses? Now it's getting weird or weirderist. I'm going back to let's just leave it at we're not shaving in the center of town, and that'll be the good one. No shaving in the center of town
because
seduction by marriage.
Oh my. A first-hand account from a veterinarian. Are you ready?
A veterinarian.
Yes.
Okay.
I had an owner present a goofy 60-pound pit bull for vomiting. Dog felt fine, but couldn't keep any food down. The owner wasn't particularly alarmed. The dog was in no distress, so I initially just treated him for gastritis. Dogs routinely eat stupid stuff, get pukey for a day or two, and then make full recoveries. Assumed this pup would do the same. He didn't. The owner brought him back a couple days later, still vomiting, now not even able to keep water down. So I suggest we hospitalize the pup and start a GI workup. The owner balked. So I tweaked his.
So did the dog get second with the balk?
He might. 2 days later, he showed up again. Dog still feeling okay. Not great, but okay. Not bouncing around the exam room, but still alert and wagging his tail. Still hadn't been able to keep any food down. The dog's blood work was all normal, but there was clearly something in his stomach on X-ray, when it should have been quite empty since he hadn't eaten anything in so long. The dog was prepped for surgery, fully anesthetized, before even making the initial incision into his belly with him lying on his back stretched out on the surgery table. It was clear something, yep, just like that. It was clear something was very off. When I felt his...
Well, for one thing, you got a dog laying there like this, thinking it's...
His stomach was maximally distended and peculiarly firm. I incised into the stomach wall very carefully, having absolutely no idea what I might find.
There.
Turns out the stomach was absolutely full with a smooth, round, hard, black spear. It looked like he'd swallowed a bowling ball.
Or an 8-ball. How big was the dog?
I want you to think about that, right? Exactly. Dogs swallow a lot of strange stuff.
It's not bad once you get right past the gag thing. It's fine.
Dogs swallow a lot of strange stuff, and I've removed all manner of foreign material from the GI tracts of many dogs, mostly Labradors.
Because we all know Labradors are loving and stupid.
Yes. There's absolutely no way this dog's esophagus could have accommodated this enormous object. And yet, there it was on my surgery
Maybe
table.
he was playing with the ball, fell and ended up sitting on it awkwardly, and it went in the out way.
I closed the boy back up and called the owner to explain this most bizarre and truly inexplicable finding. It was then and only then that this owner revealed a piece of the medical history he'd omitted every time I questioned him during the days leading up to this point.
Is this one of those things where once you hear it, you want to punch the guy that owns the dog?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, the pup had been playing in his workshop and chewed up and eaten a tube of Gorilla Glue the day the vomiting started.
So the Gorilla Glue
got into his stomach and coagulated, whatever
bowling
it does.
Ball.
Yeah. It ended up, you get the gastric juices on it and it'll congeal. And
so that's what happens when Gorilla Glue meets evolution.
Right. The dog made a full and uneventful recovery, by the way, just so you know. Tone?
Well, he was kind of stuck there for a moment, so hey. Gorilla Glue. A British artiste known as Mr. Doodle.
Wait, Gorilla Glue. Stuck. I get it. Wow, that went right past me.
You were this year's old. Oh, boy. He was today old when he figured that one out. A British artist known as Mr. Doodle, who's really known as Sam Cox, so I'm kind of torn between what to call him.
Doodle Cox? See,
there you are. Sam Doodle?
I like mine better.
Yeah, you would. He has doodled throughout. Now, think about this for a minute. British, doodled throughout his entire mansion in Tenderden, Kent. I kid you not, it's actually a UPI story. Everything is covered with doodles. Walls, furniture, the kitchen appliances, the textiles, the floors, the ceilings, all have been doodled. There are high school girls now who are writing Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. Tammy Johnson. Those aren't the doodles. No, I'm sorry. Yes, you in the back?
I'm just utterly confused. Go again. Go back just a couple sentences and start again.
The British artist known as Mr. Doodle.
Yeah.
Has doodled.
Uh-huh.
Sounds ruder that time. through his entire mansion in Tenterden, Kent. Everything is covered with doodles. Walls, furniture, kitchen appliances, textiles, floors, and ceilings.
So he has scaffolding in the place.
Apparently. I want to know how a guy who can afford a mansion in Britain
is how did he have money left for, because he shared the Doodle house. It might have been handed down to him.
If you go to the YouTube machine, you can find it. He's actually took viewers on a little tour, and the amazing process that it went from a stark white mansion to a completely doodled mansion.
Next people who buy it are going to have to undoodle it.
Disendoodle it. It took him, are you ready?
They have to do doodle remediation.
Doodle down, babe. It took him 2 years, 240 gallons of white paint, 401 cans of black spray paint, and almost 2,300 black pens to complete his project. His wife, Elena, is all in with the doodle decor. Although I would like to actually be able to talk to her. Are you being held hostage?
Yes, blink twice.
Does he have do you have children that are being held hostage? What's going on? Doodle. I did that if I doodled any portion of my house.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I can remember doodling on my wall. It got me spanked.
See, my son did on his wall.
Yeah.
But that was his bedroom wall.
Yeah, and that's what I did.
He could doodle in his, if you want to do that in his bedroom wall, knock yourself out, kid. It's your bedroom.
It was a crayon I used.
Whereas my daughter basically turned her bedroom into a compost pile. Clothing was over here. Clean clothing was over there, we think.
I was doodling the other way. I was doodling swastikas. You
little Hitler, you.
I just thought it was, I'd learned how to draw them. So I thought it was, ooh, this is cool.
I know how to draw them. I should use them now.
Right.
You were actually doodling the ancient Christian sign.
They've also
the swastika.
Well, they also used to use it. Ancient Buddhists, I think, used to use it as a symbol.
All I remember is there was a big hullabaloo in my hometown because part of the artwork around St. Mary's Cathedral looked like swastikas. They don't actually, if you check the way they're angled.
Yeah, they're not the same.
They're not the same, but they had to remove them because
people were upset.
Fascism.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
Which sounded a little like fascism to me, but hey, that's just me.
All I can say is my fascist father whacked my rump pretty good.
Now I have to go check out that YouTube video to see if he doodled any swastikas. And I've never seen you and him in the same room at the same time.
Doodle doodle.
Now, you could. Oh, no. Oodly doodly, you don't suppose it's...
Wubba, wubba,
it's not
wubba.
Flanders.
It could be.
No. Oh, Homer, you were right.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.